Welcome to the 2017-18 NFHS Rules Changes and Instructional Program. Once again, the NFHS and NYSOA have partnered to produce this presentation. I am pleased to be here with Teresa Wins, Director of Sports and Officiating at the NFHS, and Ross Malone, Director, Interscholastic Division at NYSOA. Ross and Teresa will be reviewing the rules changes. The NFHS and NYSOA have a strong working relationship. This joint program is one example of how the two organizations work together throughout the year. NISOA clinicians participate in high school soccer state meetings and clinics across the country. NFHS and NYSOA want to enhance this relationship and assist the states more directly. NYSOA is committed to working with the state associations. One very important concept is to have rules interpreters and cadet supervisors within a state who are trained as clinicians. Then the presentations they make are more informative and information more readily received. If any state is interested in this one-day training session, they should contact Ross Malone for more information. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Teresa Wins, who will provide some very interesting information about NFHS initiatives.
Thanks, John. As John mentioned, NFHS and NYSOA continue to partner on various training projects. This year, NFHS will be posting various rules information on the NFHS website. There will be detailed instruction about a rule and how it should be interpreted. The first rule currently being produced is Rule 12, Fouls and Misconduct. The next initiative is to produce various video clips with rule and mechanic interpretations included. Interscholastic officials can review these clips and then study the interpretation regarding the particular play or incident. Both of these projects are being completed with assistance from NYSOA.
Teresa and Ross have developed a very strong working relationship. NYSOA is looking forward to assisting with these and other training projects. Now here is Teresa to present the rules changes.
The first series of rule changes deal with Rule 4, Player Equipment. This year, a statement has been added to 411D to indicate that apparel worn under the jersey and/or shorts shall be a solid color matching the predominant color of the respective garment. One example would be compression shorts, which can be seen under the uniform shorts. They should be the same color. Also, a statement about compression arm sleeves has been incorporated. Since these sleeves are now being worn, they must be all alike and a solid color matching the predominant color of the jersey. Leg sleeves must meet the same requirement. 429 now provides that a soft padded headgear is permitted. We want to emphasize that no headgear can stop athletes from suffering concussions, and all sports should be played, coached, and officiated in recognition of this fact. With this addition, Rule 421 is deleted.
The referee must verify with the head coach before every game that the players are properly equipped. This includes the use of arm sleeves, leg sleeves, and goalkeeper headgear. If a player is not properly equipped, he or she must leave the field of play, and the head coach is cautioned. The safety of players is paramount, and no player should be allowed on the field with illegal or improper equipment. Also, it is imperative that any time a player shows symptoms of a concussion, the game should be stopped, and the trainer, coach, or appropriate school administrator called onto the field to attend to the player. Any player suspected of having a concussion should not return to the game. No game is so important that a player's safety should be jeopardized.
The next change deals with the officials. 523 now allows officials to utilize electronic communication devices, including buzzer, beeper flags, and headsets. This is permitted unless otherwise stated by the state association. Rule 813 now allows for the kickoff to be taken in any direction. The ball no longer needs to move forward. Rule 1013F has been added and indicates that a kickoff into the kicking team's own goal cannot result in a goal. Since kickoffs can now be in any direction, this clause has been added to be consistent with other rules that a team cannot score on itself from a free kick.
Keep in mind, after the referee signals for the kickoff and the ball is properly put into play, the referee must signal to start the clock. The clock does not start when the whistle is sounded.
The free kick rule 13.1.2 deletes the words of kickoffs and from this section that the ball must move forward. This rule also adds clarity to where free kicks are taken during temporary suspensions and offside infringements. The free kick is taken from the location of the ball when the referee stopped play. Free kicks resulting from fouls are taken from the point of the infraction, except if the foul was committed in the goal area. The indirect free kick for offside is taken from the spot where the offending player interfered with play or opponent or gained an advantage by being in that position.
The changes to the free kick rule make it clear for the referee as to where the ball is to be placed for the restart. The referee must make sure of the proper location. In addition, the referee must know how to handle an indirect free kick by the attacking team when the defense committed the foul within their own goal area. Remember, the ball is moved out to the edge of the goal area nearest the point where the foul occurred. Also, opponents can be less than 10 yards from the ball, provided that they are on the goal line and between the goal posts.
The last change clarifies the stutter step when taken of a penalty kick. The player taking the penalty kick is permitted to use a stutter step or a hesitation move provided there is no stopping and there is continuous movement towards the ball. Stutter stepping is not an interruption in movement.
When a penalty kick is awarded, the referee must make sure that the kick is properly taken so that the kick does not have to be retaken or a goal disallowed. A good mechanic is to go over the requirements with the goalkeeper and the kicker to ensure that the kick is taken properly. Also, the referee must not sound the whistle for the kick until all players are in their proper position.
This concludes the rules changes for 2017-18. There are also a few editorial changes in wording which clarify statements within the rules.
Every interscholastic official must be a student of the rules. A thorough knowledge will ensure proper interpretations on the field. Many referees also officiate at the intercollegiate and U.S. soccer levels. These laws have slight differences than the National Federation Rules Book. I encourage all officials to review the National Federation High School Rules Book on a regular basis to ensure that they do not confuse a rule during the game.
Thanks, Teresa and Ross, for the information on the rules changes. Let's take a quick rules quiz. The NFHS staff has developed several quiz questions based on discussions with the state office staff and school administrators. I will read the questions, and those watching will have time to decide which answer is correct. After a few moments, Ross will provide the correct answer with any supporting information. The amount of time to answer is limited, since all referees must make decisions quickly when on the field of play. Let's start with question number 1. When inspecting the field, the referee determines that the penalty mark is not 12 yards from the goal line. She must A, have the mark removed and replaced at the proper location, B, not play the game, C, use the mark as is, and report the matter to the appropriate officials.
The correct answer is C. Rule 126 indicates what the referee should do in this situation.
Team A is leading 1-0 in the 65th minute. A player from Team A starts a fight and several players participate. The referee stops the game and A, declares a forfeit and Team B is the winner, B, terminates the game, C, terminates the game and declares Team A the winner.
The correct answer is B. Rule 5.3.2, the referee terminates the game and submits a report to the state association.
An attacker from Team A is on a breakaway. A defender from Team B trips the Team A attacker within the penalty area. As the attacker from Team A is falling, she shoots and scores. The referee should A, eject Team B player for dog-so, B, caution Team B's player for unsporting-like conduct and allow the goal, C, allow the goal and proceed with the kickoff.
The correct answer is B. The player from Team B is cautioned for unsporting-like conduct since the goal was scored. Just remember, if a goal wasn't scored, the player should be ejected for dog-so.
A player is injured and demonstrates signs of a concussion. The referee should A. Stop play and have the player removed and not allow him/her to participate the rest of the game. B. Stop play, have the player removed, and allow the player to re-enter if the coach states that the player is not hurt. C. Check the player, and if he/she is not seriously injured, allow him/her to stay in the game.
The correct answer is A. Whenever there are any symptoms or signs of concussion, the referee must stop play and have the player removed from the game. He or she shall not be permitted to re-enter the game unless cleared by an appropriate health care professional. If this does not occur, the referee must never let the player re-enter. No game is more important than the health of a student athlete.
Team B is awarded a throw-in. The horn sounds for a substitution. Team B substitutes 1 player and Team A 3 players. The referee should A. Allow the substitutions. B. Team A cannot substitute since it is Team B's throw-in. C. Only allow 1 substitute for Team A since Team B only substituted 1 player.
A is correct, as long as the substitutes were at the scorer's table and ready to enter. Team A may substitute as many players as their coach indicates.
During a goal kick, the horn sounds for a substitute. The referee beckons the substitute onto the field. The player that is leaving the field strikes an opponent. The referee should A. Eject the player for fighting and the team plays with 1 less player. B. Eject the player for fighting but the team does not play short. C. Caution the player for unsporting-like behavior.
The correct answer is B. The player is to be ejected for fighting and the scorekeeper is informed that the ejection was in fact for fighting. The team does not play short because as soon as the referee beckons the substitute onto the field, that individual becomes the player of record.
An attacker is in an offside position. His/her teammate attempts to pass the ball to the player in the offside position. The assistant referee should A. Immediately raise the flag to indicate offside. B. Wait to see if the ball reaches the player in the offside position and then raise the flag. C. Raise the flag as soon as the ball is played and lower it if the ball does not go to the player in the offside position.
The correct answer is B. Offside is determined at the time the ball is played. However, the final decision is not made until the player in the offside position clearly interferes with play, gains an advantage by being in that position, or interferes with an opponent. The assistant referee must wait to make the decision and determine if the player in the offside position is now offside.
The correct restart after offside is called is an indirect free kick. The ball should be placed A. At the point where the pass was initiated. B. Where the assistant referee points. C. At the spot where the infraction occurred, where the player in the offside position infringed on the rule.
The correct restart is at the point of the infraction. Answer C.
The home team is wearing white short-sleeve jerseys and compression shorts. All players have the same color sleeves and compression shorts, red. A. Illegal. The compression shorts and long-sleeve shirts must be the same color as the uniform. B. Legal. As long as all players are wearing the same color, there is no problem. C. Illegal. The apparel is not matching the predominant color of the respective garment.
The correct answer is C. This year, there was a rule change that clearly describes what type of apparel may be worn under the jersey or shorts. The apparel shall be solid color and matching the predominant color of the respective garment.
When the referee arrives, he/she notices that a player is wearing a head cover for religious reasons. The referee should A. Advise the head coach that the player cannot play unless the headgear is removed. B. Allow the player to participate. C. request written documentation from the head coach that the state association has approved the player to participate while wearing the head cover.
C is the correct answer. All states have been informed of this requirement, and the coach must have the letter and show it to the referee prior to the game.
Hope you all did well on the quiz. During my officiating career at the interscholastic level, I had the opportunity to referee many highly competitive games, including several state championships. One particular game stands out in my mind. It was a very difficult game with two highly skilled and competitive teams. The game flowed well, and it seemed like every decision I made was the right one. After the game, both coaches, players, and several spectators commented on how well I officiated the game. On the way home, I contacted some of my fellow officials and told them about the experience. I was feeling really good about my experience. When I arrived home, I told my spouse how great the game was and how I did. Her immediate comment was, "Remember, there is always room for improvement." Initially, my ego was crushed. However, after a few minutes, I realized how correct she was and should never think that I have reached perfection. Every referee should keep in mind my spouse's quote. Every opportunity should be taken to attend clinics and learn more about officiating. Also, officials should have a mentor that they can contact and discuss play situations and game control. As Ross stated earlier, referees must review and study the high school rule book on a regular basis. Knowledge of every rule will help the referee deal with any situations that may occur during a highly contested game at a critical situation. Many referees officiate for NFHS, NYSOA, and U.S. Soccer. It is critical that they know the differences in the rules, laws. Each year, NYSOA prepares a rules difference guide. This guide can be found at www.nfhs.org under soccer, nisoa.com, and at arbitersports.com under soccer. Referees should review this guide before a game so they are sure of the differences in the game assigned. Fitness is yet another area that always needs to be maintained and improved. Starting the season without being in good physical condition could lead to injuries. Also, the theory of "they will come back" is not an acceptable level for officiating at the interscholastic level. Every referee must be mentally prepared for the game. A highly respected soccer official once said, "Leave the baggage in the car." There are many distractions, work, family, and friends, that need to be blocked out, and the referee's entire focus must be on that game. If the referee is not 100% focused, there could be mental lapses that result in problems with game management. Feedback on performance is also very helpful. Referees should seek out opportunities for assessments and/or observations. Also, when a referee is assessed, learn to accept the feedback and recommendations so you can improve. Being defensive and justifying actions only means you are not willing to learn and improve. In many states, the number of games being played at the high school level demand that the assigner spend many hours ensuring all games have qualified officials. It is important to the referee to cooperate with the assigner to the greatest extent possible. However, the official should not overextend themselves and accept too many assignments and become burned out during the season. Also, the official should not accept more than one game per day unless there are unusual circumstances. Working too many games normally hinders performance. The referee becomes mentally and physically tired, and the result is usually a poor quality of performance. Every interscholastic referee should remember there is always room for improvement. This concludes the 2017-18 NFHS Soccer Rules Changes and Instructional Presentation. Thanks to Teresa Wins and Ross Malone for their participation. Have a great season.